Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that has had a big impact on my life for about the last 2 years that I've learned more and experienced more of what it means. For me, I grew up in my life believing that possibilities and dreams couldn't be accomplished by certain people. I actually believed this. And so what I want to talk to you today about is how to turn impossible circumstances into possible realities. You can take what's impossible and literally turn your 100% impossible situation, reality, life, whatever that is, into possible realities to create whatever possibility that you want to. And this is something that I learned really over the last 2 years, that I grew up thinking that possibilities for my life were chosen for me, that there was a path that I was to go on, and that path couldn't be deviated from. I really had no control over where I would go in life and the accomplishments I would do, what I would do, that a lot of those things were chosen for me. And part of that even came through some religion, believing that I had no control or choice over my life, that it was 100% that if I wanted to go here, I couldn't. And there's some truth to that I believe that God does direct our footsteps. And I am a believer in Jesus and a Christian. But I also believe that God gave us free will and a choice to choose the path that we want to take. And so how to turn impossible circumstances into possible realities. In our life that we live right now, in this space right here, you and me, you're watching this video right now, we exist in what's called the present reality, okay? And whatever we can dream of, whatever we are worried about, whatever we are hopeful for, is in a realm of possibility that hasn't happened yet. And so for us, a lot of people live reactive as stuff comes at them throughout the day, as it hits them, as it comes towards them, and it dictates what the possibilities for their reality and their next steps are, because they're living reactive to their life as it happens to them instead of choosing the path they want to take. And so what I want to say is that every single thing, every possibility, for example, let me throw a crazy one out there, is look at a man like Elon Musk, who created the Tesla, and he's got spaceships. I know that's like completely sells him short of all the accomplishments that he's done in his life. However, that's a possibility that a human being has done for their life. And so if you did exactly what Elon Musk did, exact steps, your life would end up in a place where your reality would be Elon Musk's. I don't want you to look at that as you're supposed to model your life after other people, but rather this: if you have a dream or a goal or a vision that you can see in front of you for your life that you want to go after, something that you want to accomplish. I've made that a giant goal of spaceships and electric cars of Elon Musk as a possibility that didn't exist 20 years ago for him. It didn't exist, and he was able to make that a reality, a possible reality. It was an impossible circumstance that over 50% of the cars, I think it was in Norway, would be electric cars this year, and now over 50% are. And so that's an example of testimony of somebody that was able to do that. How can we apply that just to our circumstances? Let's say that you are crippled by debt, for instance, and you can't increase your income, and you're constantly in this hamster wheel of losing out in life and losing out on the possibilities that are in front of you. You feel like you are in an impossible circumstance. How can you turn that into a possible reality? Is choice. You choose to do the things that somebody who is not in your situation right now would do, and you live in that reality as if you are there. It's not about faking it till you make it for perception. It's actually purely about yourself. None of this has to do with how others perceive you. In fact, that's probably the opposite of what I'm talking about, is fake it till you make it. Don't go around looking like you're a multi-billionaire and telling people you are if you're not. Be real and honest with people. But at the same time, I'm using this myself, tell yourself, I have all of the potential in me to become a multi-billionaire someday, to build the family of the family legacy that I want to. It doesn't matter that my mother and my father and my grandparents didn't build that. I am choosing that even though my impossible circumstances say that my children will not grow up in a good family, I am choosing the possible reality that I want to create in my life for my children and the legacy, and stop the impossibility at my family line, at where I stand right now. Turning your impossible circumstances into possible realities. Living as if. And that's what I mean. It's not about faking it till you make it, putting on a front that you have a great family when you really don't behind the scenes, but rather telling yourself, I am a great father, I am a great mother, and I love my children, and then walking out that reality. It's actually about stepping into a new place of possibility that you've never been before. And what happens when we do that is we actually we pull down from the dimension of possibility, of all possibilities, into the dimension of reality that we actually pull that down into our reality, into our current circumstance. And that reality that we then live in starts to move forward and shift in that direction that we chose to create that possible reality. And so anything that is an impossibility, a roadblock for you, if you choose, this is not the reality that I will be living for the rest of my life, and I am choosing, I will go down this path. I will build that business. I will be a great father, a great mother. I will be that. Not about trying to appear to other people as if, but actually you need to convince yourself first. And then out of that, your body, there's actually, and I heard this from Joe Dispenza, that there's stress hormones that it triggers, and your body feels like as if you've already done that thing already. So when you're worried or afraid of something, your body will actually act in this fear state all the time, and your actions will be to keep you safe all the time. If you act with hope and have hope and belief for your life and possibility, and walk in that possibility of the future, drawing out and choosing, this is the future that I'm going to walk into, instead of being reactive to your past, your own physiology will actually shift into that possibility, and then you will live as if somebody who already has those things would live, and it will start to manifest around you. There's a whole lot of other stuff to this, and I would love to have some comments below. I know I'm trying to condense this down into 10 minutes. This is kind of a 10-hour conversation with people, but I want you to know this. If there's anything that's impossible in your life that you feel like, I can't do that, that is impossible. People like me don't do that. Our organization doesn't do that. We can't be a good parent because my parents weren't good. Whatever that is in your mind, that's what you're telling yourself, and yourself is listening to what you're telling yourself, and then your reality is following that path of what you're telling it. And so to turn impossible circumstances into possible realities, you have to make the choices, the decisions that aren't chosen for you, that you choose for yourself, that I am not going to accept the default scenario, the default setting for my life. And I'm actually going to create the reality and the life that I want to create for myself, for my family, for my children, for my business, for my employees, for my church, whatever that is. And out of that, live as if and walk into the reality and the dimension of possibility out of a dimension of impossibility. Literally, that's what it is. You're walking out of the impossibility. I hear people, they always say when they get successful, you forgot from whence you came. I would invite people to forget the impossibility from whence they came and move into the possible by choice, not by default, but by design. Choosing, this is the life, this is the reality that I want to live. And if you do this methodically every single day and make a choice every day to get your mind right in the morning, your life will start to transform from the impossible into the possible. I promise you that. Have a good one, everybody. I'm going to keep doing these. You can go back on my Facebook page, Instagram, and watch the other old ones I did. If this has blessed you, share it with somebody, leave a comment below, and we'll talk soon. Have a good one.